What's good, everybody? You're now listening to Yellow Cake Radio. My name is Taste Nate. We're recording live right now from San Francisco, California, in my little makeshift photo shop. You understand? I just wanted to come online real quick and give you an official announcement for the soft release for the Ultraviolet EP, exclusively on Bandcamp, yellowcakeradio.com. Now, it's been a hot minute since I came to y'all in this format. You wouldn't be aware where Yellow Cake Radio started. It started in the School of Broadcast and Electronic Communication Arts in San Francisco State University. I was rocking with the homie Tone Gladys. So his idea of Yellow Cake was the soul food goes with the samples and the soul goes with the sample of the hip hop record. And my idea for Yellow Cake Radio was bringing some of the voices from the underground, both on a local level as well as people that I had coordinated with via the internet. During that time, about 2010, we were going through a big shift in our understanding, being a young man that hadn't really had a connection with himself besides what I had done on my own through hip-hop music. We started learning about certain things that had taken place in our history, and we started learning about certain traits of ourselves, what we had gone through that is less desirable. And working through that, I kind of turned my focus onto music as a full-time project of self-improvement, not to mention challenging myself to speak about things that are not necessarily easy to talk about. So when we talk about vulnerability, or we talk about wanting to raise our awareness in an active way, that is where I found myself most turned on with this music. It's never really been about getting clout. It's never really been about trying to step on anybody's toes or be the best. It's been a lot of having fun along the way. It's been a lot about connecting with people, but most importantly, it's been about the music and learning and growing. And if I didn't see myself growing with the music, I don't think that I would be pursuing it that way. So during this time, where we had two podcasts, one was actually on the radio station at school, and one was on another internet site, we started having some guests. And one of the guests was an artist by the name of dynamicbeing, and he actually was connected in Sacramento, South Sacramento, with Tone Gladys. I believe they went to high school, to the same high school. Tone knew that Dynamic was raw and was kind of out there, and he saw that me and Dynamic kind of had a similar way of approaching our creative outlet. We did a couple joints, and one was kind of like a post-apocalyptic song called DFA, and the other one was called Synthetic. The Synthetic joint I released on a project called The Path Without, and that came out around 2014. We had also given him one of his first interviews for a project that he had put out. So over the next few years, I had kept in contact with Dynamic, and I found out that he was a professional graphic designer, like working for corporate companies and helping with city works. And I had asked him to help me out with my album cover the Black Ghost tape with KF Black. Shout out Cold Mine, aka KF Black, aka Current Flow. You know what I'm saying? So he had also done one of my more recent projects, Lamb Lovers Are Metaphysical Beings, and he went in on that album cover. Two of those could be like portfolio pieces, and he later did the Chicana Moonlight project album cover, another great piece. So during this time, I had really got at him to get on some songs and get back with this music. And little did I know he had already started working on a project, Vectorman. So I offered to release that project on through my platform, which is just like a lot of independent artists. We have our own unique label names, and it was always for me under the same umbrella, Yellow Cake Radio. So anything I do is going under that umbrella. That's through my film operation, and through my beat creation, which is a recent thing. It's all kind of going under the same umbrella. So he was the first new artist to release two projects, which was Vectorman 1 and Vectorman 2. And now it's, more or less Vectorman 3, but we're calling this the Ultraviolet EP, and it's out now. And I want to say much respect for him to continue to push out his art, and it's not something that he just goes in there and just knocks out. He really takes his time to think over everything and everything and everything. You feel me? So check that out. Now I want to say, from listening it multiple times, I would say some of the overlying themes are mental health, facing parts of yourself psychologically that you are not able to really reach on your own. So you are getting somebody, an advisor or a therapist to help you with that. And that is something that maybe not everybody wants to do. I can't say that everybody should do, but for somebody that doesn't have a connection with faith, or have an outlet, or have somebody to speak to that they can be open with, this is a good option, especially if you've experienced trauma, which is more or lessly everybody. In a way, this project is therapy in itself, because the music could be one of our main places that we can go that is safe for us. The music could also be a vessel to reach higher consciousness, and I would say that is what Vectorman is as well. Kind of a cryptic cyborg alien type of character, but also somebody that is of this earth, and reaching to a higher dimension through the use of technical lyrics. You understand? So you're going to get some of that in there as well. So I'd be kind of remiss if I didn't mention that we are kind of under a change. No matter what I think about it or what anybody else thinks about it, it's apparent. So we are having to adapt, having to learn how to trust ourselves, learning how to be patient with ourselves, because we can't just have everything the way it was before. And another part of that is getting back to the simple things and getting back to our artwork or our creative outlets, getting back to working with our hands, connecting with our nature. Some of these could be used to help you with your mental health as well. I wanted to do a couple shout outs really quick to anybody that's been keeping up with some of the content. I know there's a lot of stuff coming at you, and you've taken the time to listen to our little experiment with ourselves and with our creative flow. Also, Hash Brown, aka Knock Knock Studios, aka Team Hodel. Shout out for being one of the first people to cop that Vectorman EP. The artwork is crazy, you know. The tracks sounding clean. Also, Hallie, Portals.love. Thanks for checking out the project and actually purchasing it. I wanted to let you guys know that you guys are special people for being in our lives. And also, anybody that takes the time to purchase the digital copy on Bandcamp, I want to say like the first 10 are going to get a physical copy when we get those together. There's more to come with this release and a few other surprises on the way. So make sure to follow us on Instagram at TasteNate, Wisdom Stems, and Yellow Cake Radio. Also, big shout out for dynamicbeing. Follow him at dynamicbeing music. He's not really on the social media, so you're gonna have to get the middleman in between, and we can connect you. Also, I wanted to send a big shout out to anybody that is helping with the elderly people out there. Anybody that is finding new ways to teach their children, maybe not teach them how to behave, but teach them some of the skills that they're going to need for themselves in the future. Also, I want to give a big shout out to all the lovers out there, and the poets, and the mystics, and the philosopher kings, and the philosopher queens, and people that are true to their faith, no matter what the religion or whatever sect that you want to claim. People that are reconnecting with their identity of their culture, and people that really know they don't have it all figured out, but they're in it, you know, and they're going to go in until they can't stop, until they either figure it out or till they find themselves, you understand? One love. This is Taste Nate. We're signing off.
I don't around when it comes to my yellow cake, man.
Hello cake, let's celebrate. Dunkin' lines rise so high.
The motherfucker bought some yellow cake, okay, in Africa. He went to Africa and he bought yellow cake.
Are you sure it was yellow cake?
Yeah, hold on, drop this.
Pray to God you don't drop that.
Yellow cake, yellow cake.